Yeah, if you ever get to meet Jeff Bailey, who's at all the Morse fests, and he's the guy who MCs a bunch of stuff, and he's the guy who wrote that and saved the song. Because otherwise, what could I do? I couldn't release it. Like, hey. You know, people from around the world already make fun of the lack of geographical knowledge of the average American. Do you guys remember when who was that music? There was a country music lady that was on like, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Like, Turkey? Is that a country? You guys remember that? Paris? What is that? Where is that? Is that in England? I mean, it was really fun. Anyway, I remember getting texts from my European friends when that came out too. Like, what's going on over there? And then I write a song like that. By the Bay. Yeah, getting very creative. Okay. All right. I think I'll do a Spock's Beard tune. And while I tune, I realized why I looked at some videos of the last time I did these, and I had a headset for part of it. And the thing that's great about a headset is you can talk while you're tuning. I could be down like this and still talking in the mic, which is a little more challenging right now. Yeah, good. So when was this written? This would have been this happened around 2002. I think it was during the Snow era. It's on the Snow album. And yeah, well, I had this moment with the Lord. I had been coming. I'd been coming to the Lord for some years. Getting more and more drawn in. I mean, I wish I could, I'll tell you more of my story later, but I wish I could say, like when my daughter was healed in '98, that I just jumped in with both feet, but I didn't. I was coming, you know, I was engaged but I wasn't, there's a difference between the full jumping into the unknown with God and, you know, going to church and singing and being involved. Anyway, without getting too heavy. It was a day in church, and I can't remember what song it was. Whatever they were playing, they just kept playing it, and I just felt so drawn in my heart. They had an altar call, and I just had to go. So I went up, and as I was praying, I had my hands in the air, and I was praying, and people are praying around me. They're praying for me, praying with me, praying at me sometimes, and you know who you are. Hang on, let go. Of course, this is in the Pentecostal church, which maybe you guys don't know. There can be a lot of instruction being given. Anyway, so I was having this vision, which was that I was at the top of some kind of a waterfall that I couldn't see the bottom of. There was mist all around it. So I'm at the edge of this sort of cliff. There's a waterfall and there's this mist. And I felt like the Lord was saying, it's time to jump in. And I didn't want to. And so I kind of stayed there for a while. And I felt like the Lord was like, well, it's time for you to either jump in all the way or you're going to have to go back the way you came. And I didn't want to go back. He led me beside some very still waters, and he'd done some wonderful things. You know, so I didn't want to go back to you can feel that if you can relate to this, what is there to go back to? You know, but I didn't want to jump out either. I was scared. And even after all he had already done for me, I was scared. And so I wrote this song about it. It's called Open Wide the Floodgates. Red forest green, as you stand at the waterfall, and there's no in between. You go back or you trust the fall, and the man says that'll be 45, and the best of your mind's crying. Take the time and open wide the floodgates. Let love take your soul. Open wide the floodgates till there's so much you overflow. Out of the blue and into uncertainty. And since you are a child, you just want some kind of security. But the desert will always be hot and dry until the cool water comes rushing by. Open wide the floodgates. Let love take your soul. Open wide the floodgates till there's so much you overflow. Let love tear it down. Oh, let it wash away the past. Open wide the floodgates. You spent your life running away. You run, but you're not far away. Open wide the floodgates. Let love take your soul. Come on. Open wide the floodgates till there's so much you overflow. Oh, let love tear that gate down in your heart. You can jump and it'll be alright. Oh, let love tear that gate down in your heart. Oh, you can jump and it'll be alright. Open wide the floodgates. Open wide, open wide, open wide, open wide, open wide, open wide. I haven't played this song for a while, but I've been feeling it on my heart. This is called That Crutch. And I guess I want to tell you a little bit about the experience that brought this one. Again, I was in church, and we were singing about being at the throne of God, like in Revelation 5, where everybody's around the throne of God and of the Lamb shouting Hosanna, and blessing and glory be to the Father who sit on the throne, and worthy is the Lamb to receive honor and glory. And we're singing, and I'm picturing myself around the throne in my mind's eye, but I'm on crutches. Now, when I was 9 years old, I played a crippled boy in an opera, not at like the New York Met or anything, at the local high school. But it made a big impression on me, the music, the story. So I always saw myself, this happened to me more than once, I saw myself on crutches. And I mentioned it to a friend, and he said, man, if you don't need to be on crutches and you're on crutches, that can really slow you down. I'm sure that's not what God's intent is for you. And so I wrote this song, and I'm not sure who it's for, but this is called That Crutch.
Amen.
You don't need that crutch anymore. You think without it you'll fall for sure, but you don't need that crutch anymore. So just lay it down and walk through the door. No, you don't need that crutch, it's just holding you back. If I say you can soar, you can soar. And if you will just trust me, there's nothing you'll lack. No, you don't need that crutch anymore. A crutch is like a dear old friend. One that has kept you from caving in, but it's been so long, it's part of your mind. And you can't imagine how you'll survive. No, you don't need that crutch, it's just holding you back. If I say you can soar, you can soar. And if you will just trust me, there's nothing you'll lack. No, you don't need that crutch anymore. You don't need that crutch, my son. You were made to crawl, you were born to run. If you keep it, you could fall behind. Maybe one day find yourself on enemy lines. No, you don't need that crutch, it's just holding you back. If I say you can soar, you can soar. And if you will just trust me, there's nothing you'll lack. No, you don't need that crutch anymore. A crutch doesn't have to be bad or off. It's whatever we lean on instead of God. We were made to put our lives in His hands. But don't worry, He's promised that we can stand. Oh, you don't need that crutch, it's just holding you back. If I say you can soar, you can soar. And if you will just trust me, there's nothing you'll lack. No, you don't need that crutch. You don't need that crutch. You don't need that crutch anymore.
bet.